All right. Good morning, everyone. Sorry, it's been a volatile Jin morning. She was got into the first one. That was like, oh no, no, we need to go eat now. And then we're eating, and then it was kind of like, do you want your play? No, I want mommy's play. I was like, all right, do you want? I'll set you up so you can color. And it's like, no, I want to lay in the bed and watch mommy. It's like, oh god. So yeah, so the boss was in full force this morning. So yeah, kind of crazy. All right, let's just dive right into things. It's Wednesday, but man, I got all kinds of stuff going on today. As we can see, there's been a little bit of craziness. Not even 30 minutes ago, we were talking about how the pound was up 100 pips in 24 hours. Now it's only 44. You can see it's been pretty negative in the last 60 minutes. Pound dollar is still for the most part green. Everything else is kind of flat, right? Minus 16, minus 6, 0, 27, 19, minus 40. Again, that's all the pound strength that we're seeing compared to the euro. So and again, European weakness here, European weakness here. We're seeing pound strength, and then more or less pound strength in the end. Although, like I said, it was not even an hour ago. It was showing up 100, and now it's much lower than that. Okay. As far as kind of the news releases that we've seen so far this morning, the ADP number came in again. Still a positive base number, less than expected, but it was also a green on the other side, so not as crazy of a market mover. It looks like Evans is talking, promising growth and thoughts on inflation, mentioning more. But services coming out again. I expect the services number to be good. If it hit, does it hit 64.2? Maybe, maybe not. But I know services is definitely picking back up again. So it's definitely a situation where again, it should be good. It's not going to be below 50. But the question is, can we beat the forecast, or is it going to be negative, giving us two negative numbers for this morning? Crude oil coming in is expected to be minus 1.9. We'll see. I think crude's going to get a little bit, and again, we'll see how good of a job they do with their forecasts. I feel like right now it's going to be a little bit more. I don't know. I think it's a little bit harder to forecast right now because with the amount of people coming back to work, and just because they're coming back, I mean, you see the positive employment change, but again, this doesn't say people that are driving to work. This just says people coming back to work, or getting a job. How much of that is going to be remote? Is it the same as it was before? And again, there's a lot of questions that we don't know there. And then tonight we have the preliminary Australian business confidence, or I'm sorry, not Australian, the New Zealand. Eh, Kind of a hard one to read. And again, it's a New Zealand-based number, so it's going to be a little bit, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be the biggest of movers tonight. Going into tomorrow morning, we do have a lot. The final services PMI again, not nothing. That's probably not going to be anything earth-shattering. Probably come in about what the forecast is. At 7 o'clock, we have all kinds of pound data. So I do feel that although we don't expect anything to change, all the data we've heard from the pound is about them accelerating recovery, et cetera, et cetera. So I do feel that I do feel like there'll be some positiveness coming out of this. Like I said, I don't expect them to change, but maybe do they mention when they start doing that? Possibly. Right now, it seems like everybody's cool with inflation. Inflation is great, but again, we've seen some, tearing back and pulling back, and the question is, is the UK at that stage? I mean, all the data that the UK is putting out has been good. So I don't know. They even mentioned tapering or raising, the potential of raising of when they're going to raise interest rates. Again, that is another big boom for the pound. So we'll see where we can get positioned before tomorrow morning. And then obviously the unemployment claims tomorrow is a big one thing as well. So yeah, so a lot of kind of news releases, blockbuster style news releases in the next 24 hours. As far as kind of the hottest things, obviously click this real quick. Obviously the ADP number again positive. Robinhood again. I don't know how Robinhood has any room to stand on anymore. I feel like everybody just dislikes Robinhood, and it's funny, that Robinhood is firing back after Warren Buffett slams it. I feel like people will definitely. I don't know. I mean, if it comes between Warren and somebody else, I feel like people will believe Warren over Robinhood. So I mean, like it's like Team Robinhood versus Team Buffett. I feel like Team Buffett wins that one hands down. I showed this earlier. What is it? The UK is planning their third COVID shots with Pfizer, right? Like we can't even we can't even get all dose ones done and dose twos, right? They're talking about dose threes in the UK, and that's why I feel like they are definitely a bit farther ahead. Besides that, I wouldn't say there's anything else earth shattering. I'm curious to see. I don't want to watch the video, but let's see. Likely to hold for quite some time. And again, I feel like this is because the Fed, whoops, because the Fed has now turned political. It's no longer an independent body because it has gotten political now. I feel like that's why they want us to say this. Does not see evidence inflation spiraling higher. Okay. So he's drinking the same Kool Aid as Powell because everybody else out there says they see inflation going higher. Um, there's already a long way to go before fulfilling the Fed mandate. Not true, but okay. Um, yeah, the employment mandate isn't. So there's two mandates, right? The employment one is within sight, but yet over here it's like, oh no, we're far away. We got a long way to go. It's like mandate is 2%, and like I forget what the percentage is for inflation, but or for the employment. But we're close on the employment one, and the inflation is 2, which they said where they want to see above that. So technically, they're going beyond that. Achieving inflation goal might be difficult. I don't know about that one. I mean, if the mandate is 2% and it's at 5 or 6%, we're well beyond that. So he's tweaking some numbers. He's not going with the straight rule. He's going with the tweaking of numbers, and again, that's where it becomes political. But the inflation goal. Yeah, we're not going to hit the inflation goal, really, because you said we wanted to see moderate inflation for an extended period of time, but that means more than what we normally have. Thanks for just confusing it all for us, Thomas. Lovely. Way to go, Evans. Besides that, really nothing else over here. Private sector refunding. Germany is sticking by the NATO spending goal. Let me see what this is real quick. Which is 2% of GDP. I love this. By 2045, do you think anything could happen in 25 years? Hey, I mean, Merkel can say whatever she wants. Like, I don't even know how old she is, but like, is her life expectancy? Will Merkel be around? Not as a chancellor, but I mean, I'm not sure how old she is, but will she be around by 2045? And will that make them climate neutrality? Will they be able to hit climate neutrality? I don't know. It's an interesting statement. I mean, I don't know. Can you really put much juice in this when you're like, hey, you know what? In 25 years, yeah. I mean, look at the movies from the 90s. We were supposed to be in flying cars. We could teleport places, or the world was over. One of the two. It was the Escape from New York or whatever it was, Escape from LA, right? Um, it's so funny. I love that. The same thing. Yeah, the U.S. is and remains our ally, our most important ally. That makes sense. Yeah. Love it. 25 years from now, guys, we'll be in flying cars. Yeah, I mean, it's like, what do? You're gonna go 25 years from now, like anybody's gonna remember that Merkel said that? It's like, come on. All right, let's go over and dive into charts here. So let's start off with Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar's been bouncing back and forth. We're kind of in an interesting spot right now. As you can see, we had this kind of area of interest, and it was a top, bottom over here, base here. I mean, if I continue it across, you can see it's just base here, base here, base here, base here. So it's been an area that keeps getting drawn back into. It's kind of at that 77.25-ish mark. There's kind of interesting selling going on here. I mean, we got a kind of cleaner level up top here. Maybe we shrink this down a little bit. Like I said, it's not the first hit, but if we're looking for an area of potential reversal, that could be where it comes from. Trying to think if there's anything down here, and there's a little bit, but I don't really love much. I mean, like I said, we had this one spike through, and that became the basis for a continued push. You can see it grabbed the lower zone here. We had that other one drawn right there, right? The 76.8, 10. Actually, we just use that one. Let's adjust this. Unlock it. And lock that back up again. Every time I almost hit the delete button. I'm trying to think. Is there another? There is a little test there, but I'm wondering if we should just move this up here. I'm wondering if we do this and run it off that candle. And then we get touch, and then boom, push the downside. That's probably a better area. Let's go ahead and use that one for right now. So 77.65 is the zone that we are looking for. All right, for sure. And again, use this as a profit target. I wouldn't be using this as a takeoff point or anything like that. So I think that's what we run right now. Aussie dollar or Aussie yen. So Aussie yen. Let me adjust this also. All right. So, all right. And look, one, two, three, four was the one that burst it. We had that short set up there. Just remove these. Let's see. What do we go now? I mean, honestly, there's so much chopping back and forth in here, and you can see. I mean, if we use this, I mean, technically here's the first hit of it, but one, two, three. This is number four. I think we really need to focus on this one on the 84.93 level up top. And again, this was a profit target down here, the 83.70, with 83.78. It's not the cleanest of levels, but whoops, not that much. Something along these lines. Like I said, I still think that's more of a profit target than anything else, but we'll see how it rolls back down. There's a little bit in here, and again, this would be probably more of just kind of a watching area. I don't know that I take this one long. I guess it depends on the time that it hits it, but it's an area where we had some basing and a chop and took off, and then hit it again and took off pretty decently. So it's a small level. Let's see, it's only 3 pips, so it's not like it's a big enough area, right? Um, really to be saying, "Hey, listen, we're gonna snipe this one with a 3 pip." It's like, yeah, it's gonna be hard. I think we're not far from Escape from Lysaria, at least according to some people who live in that area. I know, right? Yeah, but that was but I think Escape from LA wasn't that the one where it's like I feel like they had like the big one, right? Like um, the big earthquake where like California or whatever or LA or whatever it was like separate, right? Didn't they have to like fly there? Like they couldn't drive there anymore, right? Like wasn't California a separate area? Yeah, I feel like it was separate. Who knows? I mean, eventually it's going to happen, right? That it'll be kind of sliced off over there, and we'll have another minor continent. As is that when slices? I figure between the mega earthquake that's supposedly coming, and the climate change that is all Trump's fault in 4 years. Climate change only exists because of him. Um, Even though the buoys don't support it. I feel like between those two, California is bound to be an island anytime, right? Um, we're not far away from any disaster imaginably. Planet about to burn, robots taking over, cars attacking us. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't know. I mean, the pandemic had to have opened some people's eyes, but I mean, it's not something that, I mean, everybody has always known that this was able to exist, right? I mean, there's been numerous movies on it. I mean, they say that's like the zombie infection. I mean, there's been things from it in the past. I mean, not that we have zombies or anything out there, but you know, it is one of those things that you are eventually going to run into natural disasters. Like, is this the end of the world? No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that people are resilient, but I mean we're going to constantly have obstacles, and um, you know, we'll see. We have more. Yeah, like I said, it's it, for lack of a better word, it's like that. Let's cancel culture. It's like, oh, humans are bad. Let's just cancel them. It's like, yeah, okay. It's like you are human. You know that, right? But you get those people that are kind of crazies and lunatics. So, euro pound. So again, continuing to push down. This was an area we had talked about before. This 86. It was a profit, but it had spent so much time there. We weren't necessarily interested in taking it as a long. We talked about an area that we could potentially see reversal down here at 85, 86. And even right now, like I said, there's not, with this pushing above the top, there was really no trade set up in this one. And I would say, I mean, right now, there's just not a lot in this one. We are in an area where we'd like to get long, and maybe the only area that I could see potentially before this one that wasn't tested would be this area right here. Okay. Um, Timing wise, I mean, is this an ideal area to go long? I mean, I don't know. I'm just not in the opinion right now that we could. I don't know. On a purely technical based matter, okay? Purely technical based, is it an area that we look to go long? The answer is yeah, yeah. I mean, it's definitely. I mean, it's an area that we had a nice pullback, a base, a nice punch forward. It ran into a level, came back, grabbed more orders from that area, and went again and again. Decent drop, 3 candle base, and then punch higher on an hourly. So, is it a level? Yeah. But and again, not to drag super fundamentals in anything, but again, the one thing is I am 95% technical based, except in the time of like some type of geopolitical event, and those are the things that you cannot prepare for. A pandemic is kind of one of those things. Um, it wasn't an economic projection; it was something that nobody expected, and we're dealing with it. So and whoops, oh God, go back. There we go. And as we're seeing the recovery from it, I mean, again, the UK is a little bit farther ahead than what we're seeing in Germany. So, right now it would need to drop about 22 pips. Their market's about to close, so I'm wondering if we kind of just start to settle down one of these two areas. Um, and who knows? Maybe if we can push down to there, maybe there's an opportunity for the UK to finally disappoint tomorrow. Maybe they're saying, maybe they say, hey, listen, we're going to hold this for, recovery looks good, but I mean, there's no motivation to raise your interest rates when nobody else is doing it either. So kind of one of those things, right? So we could use them for news release, but right now I'd be a little bit hesitant. I mean, they only got 2 hours left on their markets. Be cautious, and like I said, it's we're seeing some profit taking right now from the European session, but you know I think these are our best two opportunities to get long. Do I like either of them? Again, it's going to depend on what's happening. If there's news, a session open, or in preparation for a session, I think are the only ways you can play those. Otherwise, I think we're more at risk of this coming back down. And I think 85 is I think 85 is a target to the downside for the euro pound. Now, euro yen, you can see that euro yen is also, over here, you're seeing, oh, yeah, it's pulling back. We got a little bit of strength in the euro, right? Because the euro is the first pair, but it had been getting weak. This one, you're not really seeing that euro strength. You're just seeing it continue to push lower. We had talked about this break of 130, 134. At this point, it's actually cleared it all the way. It didn't make it all the way down to the target. And again, that's what we were kind of looking for. Kind of the same thing if we extend this one across. This was an old area that we were talking about before. It actually should be yellow. I thought I'd changed this, but it's funny when I try to close this down, I was like, "Oh, all your work is not saved." I'm like, "Nah, it's saved. We're good." But I feel like it may not have been saved. Let me extend this line across because that was a short in there. Yeah, I feel like this was not all saved. Maybe the warning is correct. I don't need that one either. Let's mark one. That was a profit target for that. So if you're not in this one now, it's too late. So we're just going to remove it. You guys should definitely be out of that one right now. I don't know if I'd take another short off that one or not. There's a little zone above it I think is better. Yeah, that 130 is definitely a target. 1, 2, 3, the break. 1 base, boom. Yeah, it's definitely a target to the downside. Yeah, so right now, I mean, I guess the biggest question is, let's see, how much do we have to move? We got 39 pips. So, their market's going to end if we can continue to see this downward pressure based off of the yen strength right now. This could be a European swing, right? We could come back down to this 130.65. Let me see. Is there any European news tomorrow? Not a pound news, but let me see. Is there European news? German factory orders, that could definitely help them out. Economic bulletin could help them out. Retail sales, if it beats, could definitely help them out. So yeah, there's some news tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, we could potentially see that. This could be a setup for the European Open tomorrow. Look for the to bounce off 130.65. Otherwise, I would say at this point I'd be more more bearish than anything else. Euro dollar you're seeing kind of chop around as well. We had talked about that level potentially breaking it. It never gave us a clean entry, and you can see that it's just it's more or less just gone sideways through it, right? We're talking about a break here. We based in, pulled back up, kind of pulled back in. It loves that area, right? It loves that area. So right now, I would say our two cleans are right here again. The 120.83 up top, the 119.50 on the bottom. From where we are on the 30th, I mean, this is crazy, right? This is where we ended. We had that little pop. Right now, we are 11 pips different, right? Nice rally up, grabbed a small level, and kind of came back down, and we're pushing back. It's basically the same thing, right? Just not much excitement in this one, right? This is Friday. This is here. It is now Wednesday. We're 11 pips different. So I think 120.82, 119.50, top or bottom, either way works. The euro is just not giving us a lot of opportunity. Pound. So pound, look at this. Pound kind of bounced a bit, right? We had the one level. We hit it yesterday, and it just collapsed, and then hit it again and collapsed back and hit it again and finally broke, but unfortunately, it didn't make it up. We were looking for this to go. This one missed by such a small amount. 5.3 pips. I had this on my radar for a short, and then I saw it pulling away, and I was like, oh, it's like, man, I was looking forward to that one. All right, so right now, I think profit targets for any short need to be down in this level. I'm going to leave this yellow because we still have a break of 150.86 would be a short for us. I mean, obviously, this is a parabolic move down and a parabolic move right back up again. And really hasn't changed much since yesterday at 6 a.m. So we're kind of in the same area. I would say right now, I mean, again, we're seeing yen strength. I'm kind of more in the belief right now that we this one can, I mean, on a purely technical basis, I think this one comes down. Can we travel 70 pips from now till the UK open, or the UK news tomorrow morning? Oof. We would need some help. We would definitely need some help. I don't know if we can travel all that. I would like to, as I said, I would like to be long before the UK news, but a lot of it's going to depend on what we, where we hold and where we move to. So, right now, technical basis, I think this one comes back down, and we end up seeing profit profit taking over here, right around what 151.25. It's about, I don't know, about 50 pips from where we are right now. I think is what it's looking like. It's got a small level, it's got a breakthrough, and it's kind of hit it a few times, but. I don't know. Right now, I would say, sells, I'd have 152. Buys, I'd have 150. Excuse me, 55. And then again, we still have this Harry Potter, the break of 150.87 down south. But it's got to chunk through this. Right, chunking through this is going to take a little bit of time. So it may come down and start bouncing around up here before it starts to push lower. Okay, but I would assume that this is what we're looking at probably maybe till like there tomorrow. Maybe like there tomorrow. Okay. Pound dollar. So pound dollar. A couple hours ago, about 6:30 this morning, we did end up taking it off this level here. Now, is it the ideal setup, the 120, the 139.20? No, I wouldn't say it's ideal, but I mean, having this 530 spike up into it, we knew that was, again, this is a 30-minute chart. We knew that we had a one, and actually it should be there, right, from the body. We knew that it was a level, right? A one top candle or a one candle base, and then a nice punch back to the downside. So it's kind of set up the same way. We're just coming off. We're right around that 1 to 3. We have some buyers stepping in here at 138.77 ish area, and again, it makes sense. They're buyers that are hidden right here. They're hiding right there. Okay, so again, that would be where we want to make sure we get our profit out of. I think at this point, again, I'm looking for this one. How do we trade this one news-wise tomorrow? This level, again, you can see the guys here. I think this is it's a valid level. I mean, it dropped at base and it made an attempt, and then I like the way that the wicks are higher. So, this could be a news-based level tomorrow as well. Right? We could use this as a news-based level tomorrow if, again, this is able to come down. It would require a drop of about 50 pips. Going to do that in 20 hours? Yeah, absolutely. And it would just kind of be a retracement of what we saw today. We need a little bit more news, or we need a little bit of help from the U.S. Again, this would require more of a strong dollar play. Mentioning inflation definitely helps that, but I don't know. At this point, it's kind of like I feel like they're like inflation. Yeah, we got that, but it's no big deal. I don't care, right? Inflation's not important, right? And again, this could be for years and years and years, Congress have been trying to rope in the Fed. And for years and years and years, the Fed said, no, we are completely independent, which they are supposed to be, right? But maybe now they are finally under the umbrella, that they are just doing the government's bidding, right? I don't know. I still feel like it comes down. I would not be taking it long off this level here. I know that it's a little bit of a base and it got front run, but I would not be interested in the 38.73. I like the 38.41, and again, that's a level that, again, I'll leave it yellow, but if we can come down there, again, before, if we get over here for that UK Open, there could be a potential for a bounce higher, right? But again, that's going to require something, something more than 10 o'clock, right? 10 o'clock is not going to necessarily help us. So if we do come down, that's where I'd be looking for, some type of a bounce. All right. Dollar CAD. So dollar CAD. Here's the news, right? Here's the news. I wouldn't say that the dollar CAD is anything spectacular right now. It's in the bottom. We know that we're stuck in between this higher levels of demand. We're really having a hard time breaking through the 122.50th level. We're there now. Again, this also requires, and we've seen it in a couple charts, this is going to require some dollar strength coming in for this to start rallying. And we haven't really seen dollar strength, not in comparison to what we've seen with the CAD. So, Is there a setup here? I mean, we're on the 30-minute, and is there clean levels? Not really. I mean, we've bounced. I mean, like, I'd love to draw a box right here and be like, yep, look at that, right? But we've hit this level so many times. I don't think the buyers are going to hold much, much longer. They've been able to support really in this entire area here, but is there a definitive like, yep, here's where you set your risk? Answer's not really. I would like to see this one spike. If we could get something that would give us some type of I don't know. I mean, if we can get like some type of a spike up, right? If we get a big spike up, I would definitely be looking for a reversal trend, a parabolic retracement to the downside. I don't know what that catalyst is going to be. Unfortunately, it just, I just don't think. Let's get rid of this. This is what I was looking for. I just don't know what the catalyst is going to be based off the next 2 days. It's going to be a headline, yeah. So it's less. It's less. Again, very similar to what the manufacturing PMI was. Again, still well above 50, so it's not the end of the world, but that is 2 different red releases we've had this morning, so there'll probably be some movement off of that. You can see right now, I mean, dollar CAD doesn't necessarily care. It's like, whatever. Not a big deal for me, which it shouldn't be for this position. Okay. Dollar Swiss. Okay, dollar Swiss is down. Now, and also in regard to this, I mean, this is PMI, right? So again, if you don't know a lot about this, it's basically the cost of goods and services, or in this case, the services, right? You can see it here. Yep, survey about 300 managers purchasing response to the rate of business conditions, including employment, production, new order supply. So it's kind of it's a way to kind of look at, kind of the economic health, good or bad. When it's bad like that, that means typically that they're not going to change anything with interest rates. Typically, this is a way to see more inflation, but right now, like I said, they don't really care about inflation. That's why you're seeing not so much movement. So interestingly enough, again, that same level extended across. You can see that that's what we bounced off of. This one missed top and bottom. I'm still holding for either of these 2 levels. I think either of those is fine. This was more for a push through to the top side, but at this point, I mean, we just keep getting front run off of it. So again, we have a number of hits off that level, but maybe we actually decide to take a short off of this level here. Right? Maybe we look at something a little bit more aggressive in this one. I like the top. The candle formation, I think, is fine. What time did we form that? Yeah, that was a UK session open. So maybe we actually look for this, and this becomes our new kind of our new entry, right? I'd love to shrink that curve a bit, but I don't know if I can. Problem is this is going from all the way up top. Let's see. Probably there. Yeah, probably there. All right. So yeah, you can kind of see that one there. So yeah, so this one, the 9160 puts us kind of right at that level, right? Puts us right up into that top third. And actually, if we want to shrink this down, maybe get us a little bit a better entry. Maybe we look at taking something here on the other side. And again, this is a bit more of an aggressive entry than the lower one, but I'm looking for here and there. Like I said, this one just goes forever and does nothing. So 9160, 9109 would be the 2 kind of smaller intraday. Again, there is a long above 9160, but right now we're just kind of cruising right down the middle. And this is on the small and the large. We're cruising right down the middle, so not a whole lot. Dollar yen. It was doing good, right? We were doing so good. It was like, yes. And then it just ran out of steam. So kind of same thing. We had our European Open was here. Let's see. This is going to be funny. European session open was here at 3 o'clock, and where we are right now is 15 pips. So no real movement. Like I said, if you are short this position, there was a small. I mean, you could have taken something really, really tiny at like 1 o'clock in the morning, but this would have been quite an aggressive entry using this, right? Using this level. Not that you couldn't have done it, but at this point, I think you're out at your 1 to 3 from the spike down. I still think your targets down south need to be 108.80. Better entries down here for longs at 108.56. Okay, selling up top. And again, if you're aggressive, You caught this one, but right now I'd be a little bit cautious taking it again. It did push pretty deeply into that zone. There's only a little tiny bit left up top. Technically, there's only that much left there. I don't know if that's going to be enough. I don't know if those sellers are going to be enough to kind of turn this around. Okay, as well as if you take this back from this level here, from the original, right? 1, 2, 3, and we bounce. Okay, so that's another thing to watch out for. But whoops, they're huge. There we go. Change that black. Right. 2, 3. Okay. So just be a bit cautious of that one. Okay. All right, let's check the indices. Let's see what they're doing this morning. I see that they're green. Like I said, there was that parabolic move we were talking about with ES. I mean, ES, you shouldn't. I don't think anybody would actually caught this one. I mean, the zone's really right there, right? It got close. Even if I use the body behind, it still wouldn't have. It still would have got front run. There's our that target got hit on the crash yesterday. We talked about that coming down. Let's bring this across. I guess we can use this right here. Look at that. It was a small front run. So looks like we could use that level one more time. Right. So the problem I have with this one right now is we're just kind of getting boxed in here. And you can see, I mean, it was already starting to move at the 9:30 candle straight down. And again, negative employment. It makes sense. It didn't really hit a level that we could get into. Again, you just would have missed this, right? The pipettes would have got you. Problem with this is, again, we had the basing here, and again, that's what we touched here on the other side. Came back and touched it higher, touched it again. So I'm assuming it's going to go off, but this level of basing right below makes it a little bit more difficult just because it's like, hey, listen, we got like a level on top of a level right there, right? So we got two, we got a chunk through, and then we got really all this here, right? So, I mean, as far as clean levels go, this would have been for a long above. Let me see. How much is that? 6. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so we got a long above there. I'm trying to think if I would take a short off of this, but I don't think there's enough room down. Like I said, buyers could step in here, here, or here. Actually, here. There's 4 different spots buyers could step in on this one. What else do we have today? Crude oil. Do we have a speech? Let me see. Do we have a speech coming today? Evans is speaking at 3. I don't know if Evans is going to be able to move that much. I like it for a negative today. If we can turn at like 10:30 and we start to go higher, I don't know. Maybe we get some type of positive data. I don't know. Evan speaking at 3 o'clock doesn't really. I mean, Evan speaking at 3 could lead us into kind of an end of the day rally. It's a good setup for that. Right now, it's a little bit far when that's 5 hours away to be able to kind of set it. But if we do break above 4186, I do think we could push higher. Maybe we end up back up at 4200. I mean, again, if Evan makes some, not that he's the biggest mover, but if we could make some comments, yeah, it's man, I don't love this. I mean, I would say this is going to be a difficult one. I would say I don't want to mark this orange so it looks different. Okay. If for some reason, let's see, Evans is speaking. I guess I should take this up. Right there. That would be a scenario I'd be willing to take, but price would have to be down here at 3 o'clock. And that would basically lead us into the end of the day. If we're sitting up in here and stuff, this is null and void. But it's an area where we had a nice push off of at the end of the day. So again, there was your end of the day rally before. We already know that's a level previously. Is it the best one? No, it's just the most aggressive of the three. But coinciding with Evans, again, this guy speaking right here. Again, Evans is not the biggest one, but if he makes comments, does it say who he's speaking to? I mean, it is a Chicago Federal Reserve, so I mean, it is kind of it is kind of a bigger publicity thing. So, yeah, that one's hard. I don't really love it a lot in that one. So NQ, we're looking for this to go just a bit higher. I was like, come on, just go up there, 13,970, and it turned and rolled on us. And again, this is this is the news from this morning. Unfortunately, any way that you would have sliced this one, you would have had to use this entire, the wick behind, and again, that would have been more of a profit. I mean, you would not have gotten entry in this one. I mean, I'll put the horizontal line across. Had you used the body behind and said, "Yep, I'm using that whole level," you didn't get entered. It was right there, so it's nice to say that. Yeah, definitely short. And again, the parabolic move was all the way back up again. This was the parabolic retracement from yesterday, and that's exactly where you should have taken your profit at. And actually, once this kind of pulled back, you would have taken your profit here anyway. I would say this one also looks like it will continue to push down. Can Evans move this one? Yeah. I would say that maybe for this one, for the Evans news, we do it here. And kind of the same thing. It would be what, 515 here? Yeah. It would be maybe one of those. And again, it depends. If price is already kind of based here sideways and pushed lower, again, it's not valid. This is just for, maybe like a 233, 230-ish time before Evans starts talking. And like I said, if he says things about, yeah, inflation's going to be transitory, we're not seeing anything there, the economy is recovering good, we're going to leave it the way that it is for a long period of time. And he just reiterates the fact that, man, we are so far away from our mandate, meaning the conditions are not going to change. Those are all positive for the indices. So it's kind of some of the terminology we would need for this one. But right now, I mean, it's like I said, the opening print is already done. The opening move is done and out. There's not much we can do with it. Look at this. Why am I so close? It's like, just help, help, help. But they just don't want him to break. And you can see that's, this area right here. So it's trying. It's trying. It's an interesting run right off of that level, though. This should not be orange. This is not the Evans news. Trying to look at for that if we continue to drop today. And this one's okay. This one's all right. Let's bring this up to a 30, see if anything gets a little cleaner looking. Not really. Look at that. Top, bottom, top, base, pull. Turn that orange for the news. 15. See if we go there. We'll see where we are. But again, this is where the Evans news. So I would say the way that it looks, if we can break through this level, I would say that it's probably, probably more of a push lower. Let's put a short position on there. Trying to get it right on. There we go. It's fine. I was like, man, I'm trying to get it right at the 3 mark, but it just doesn't want to. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. So we got plenty of room to run for this one for a short to the downside. And like I said, the profit target in this way, the 1 to 3 is kind of right where you would expect this, this to come out. Profit target should technically be right there, right? Is where you'd be looking for. Okay. Again, it may actually do it right now. So looks like it's going to come all the way down. But that's where we should run into some buyers stepping in at least a little bit. Make sure we get our profit target from there. But again, if this level is blown and we're much, much lower, there'll be another opportunity long later on in the day. Actually, let me clean these up now. These are the ones from last week. We never even got remotely close. That level's fine. This level we don't need. I don't need the cost spread there. We can remove this. Pull that one off. Let's plane this across. Bring this. It's a problem with 15-minute charts. So much of what you did is like so far back. You're like, oh my God. We don't need these anymore. That one is fine. We can extend this, this, and this. Oh, these little 15-minute charts. Put that one there as well. Okay, good. All right, we're good there. All right, let's go across and let's see what oil's doing. So oil is continuing to chop back and forth. We're still stuck on that level. We got about 15 minutes. Let's drop down to a 5-minute and let's see what. Yeah, oil's not really helping us out right now. We haven't gotten the slowdown yet. Hold on, my phone's going crazy again. My wife is probably still freaking out. Hold on one sec, guys. Hold on one sec. Okay. All right, sorry. So on a 5-minute level, we're looking for this to kind of pull up into a zone and kind of stop. I mean, could we use this level right here? Yeah, we could. That could be a level we're using for news-based time, but we typically like to see a little bit more of a pause. This is not so much of a pause. I mean, it's okay, but it started pausing and getting stuck there at 9:30. Normally, you're going to see a push. Right now, I would say that it looks more like it would roll over and push lower, but you know, it's kind of one of those things. It's like I don't know. We're almost boxed in because we have a little level right below it, down here, about 20 cents lower. So this may be one of those ones that we play after the fact. And again, if we can burst through this minor, and this, I mean, we're talking about a 5-minute level here. This is not a high quality base level. I mean, this is definitely something more on the smaller side of things. But that's what we use typically for that pre news movement. Let me see. I don't know. Commodities. Let me see. Hold on, I'm pulling my. Let's see. Crude oil. 82. What's the price level of that? 66.50. Ooh. There is. Man, we want this to rally just a little bit more. There is a call spread, right? It's got a little bit of premium jacked into it right now. The indicative price is technically below where the. I guess it's right on. It's right at the money right now. If we can get this to spike up a little bit, there is a call spread there, although it's got $34 worth of risk in it. That's quite a bit. Actually, don't. Let's see. Commodities, crude oil. the closest knockout is $2.50 or $1. What? Yeah, 75 cents above. So we're not even remotely close there. Crude. Let's see. Jesus, there's a lot of premium jacked into this one today. Man, the 65. Holy crap. The 65.70 is $19 worth of risk, and then we immediately go up to 35 at the 66.10, which will require 50 cents on the daily. Man, they got a lot jacked into this one. What are they doing? Why are they messing with crude oil so much? Let's look at the 2-hour real quick. 65.90. 65.90 all the way down here. Yeah, I don't love the pricing on that one. The pricing is not great on these. I think the call spread was the best. Whoops, not that. The call spread is the best looking one here. And even that, I don't really. 66.50. There's a 66. Yeah, it's only about, I don't know, it's about $30 worth of risk. I don't know. Like I said, this is not giving us the pre-market move. We like to kind of grab it. The best thing to do is maybe wait for this one to kind of burst through. And again, if we pop up and we pull back in base, take this one long. like I said, the number today was pretty good. I don't really have a definite sell on this one. Let's go back up to 30-minute until we get up to the 67 level. Right, I don't think there's too much in there, but I'm expecting some type of a move. I would say if I had to make the call, um, I mean, the way that it's looking, it looks like it wants to go higher. Well, it's hard to say because it hasn't stopped. We're still waiting for this to slow down, but right now it's pulling into that little 5-minute level, which is not ideally. Um, we're looking for stabilization, and we're just not getting it right now. But it's pulling up. So let's see. We'll see if in the next 10 minutes if it does it. Gold. So yeah, gold is this 15-minute chart. I was like, oh wait a second. Um, right now, gold is pretty much asleep. So as of yesterday at 12 o'clock, we're more or less in the same area. You can see it's moved zero point 0.1 in that time frame. Again, because inflation is not important, that's kind of been the issue. We had the one spike up to that same level back up here at 1795, and it peeked its head out of the top. And God forbid anybody that's a support and resistance trader, right? The support and resistance trader that's like, oh, here it is, right? If it breaks, I'm going long. It literally stuck their head up to grab their orders and then collapsed right back down again very, very fast. Yeah, maybe Evans helps this one. I just don't see a whole lot of there's not a lot of great kind of movement in this one. We're literally slicing down the middle. And again, you can see this is the channel we've been stuck in between 1795 and 1761. Would be the two areas that we're kind of most watching out for. So, yeah, kind of hard one, guys. Right? I would say right now we just don't have a whole lot going on for us with gold because inflation is like the redheaded stepchild that nobody wants to talk about right now. Okay. But I think 1795 is decent. I think the 1760-ish level. And again, we may want to adjust it slightly when we come down if we can get a base down here. But right now we're just sideways. Silver's got a bit more movement in it. And again, silver, we were looking for a bounce. And it kind of gave it a bounce here and then kind of went back up again. So you had a couple different opportunities to get into this one. And you can see more or less got front run, but you would have gotten the entry here higher. And then same thing, it became the top here, right? The same level we had was the top, and we've just kind of hit it. So um, finding the cleanest entries in silver, kind of the same problem. I think 25.50. I think 27.34 is there. Um, let's see. Is there something? Problem is this is 27, so it's a psychological number. Um, watch this. This is probably the move. Yeah, but again, not something we would have used for an entry, right? Hit it, base, base, base. You're like, yep, it's gonna break, it's gonna break, gonna break. Peaked out the top and then was exhausted and ran south. So, yeah, not something we would have used or want to use further. Let's change this one to yellow. Set it up that way, top or bottom, either way. Like I said, Evans could affect this one. Evans not being POW, silver will react a little bit more to him. Okay. Let me see if oil is doing anything yet. Like I said, we're looking for oil to freeze. And it's not really freezing yet. Come on, oil. Why don't you play nice? That actually shouldn't be green. That should be red. Come on, oil. I hate when it doesn't want to cooperate. You were doing so good. If you could have just gone there and just stopped for like 10 minutes and just not moved instead of giving us the whip back and forth, it would have been nice. I really wish there wasn't so premium jacked in. This would be an interesting trade setup to take. Yeah, that's a rough one. This would actually be yellow. Looking for a short coming out of there. Let's move these one. Whoops. It's okay. Hold on one sec. Till like 4 right there. Okay. Whoops. Let's do European session open, which was right here. Till the 9 mark right, or 8:30 is right there. Okay. I'm trying to track this now. There's something I'm working on with Todd. All right. Did we hold? Are we holding? We are starting to look. It does look like we are holding. It's not the ideal opportunity, but I would say the way that it's holding right now, it is a little bit better to the downside right now. Um, Trying to see if the premium has gone crazy yet. 66.10. It's here. Still 33. God, man, they have jacked the premium on these things. Man, 65.70's down here, but God, that's a lot. That would have to be a big miss. I mean, I guess it is the daily, but what I'm looking at right now, so you guys can see it, is there is a 65.70. So like right there, right? That will require I don't know, a 75-cent move, 80-cent move, right? Which is not that big of a move for oil inventory. And the risk level on it is about $18, right? It would be, I don't know the difference what Anchor Text is. Be about $18 risk down to that level, right? Only because we are holding in a small level right now, and again, it's a 5 minute. Not that I really would like, not that I'm a big oil bear at this point, but it's just been moving. It's been stuck so much, and it is holding right there, which again, on a regular basis, that typically puts us to the downside. For $18 risk, it'd be something small you want to get out of rather quickly. Unfortunately, everything else, like I said, there's a call spread out there. The call spread's not bad, right? It is obviously rare. It's in the 8 to 2:30 p.m. There's a 66.50, so we're literally right at the top. I mean, but it's got like 33 cents worth of risk in it. You'd have to be moving to the downside. So like 66.18 is where you start getting the profit, which is here, which is already enough that this one is actually more beneficial. You'd have more profit in that one than the break even point for here. So it's kind of one of those ones when you weigh the two options together. It's like, yeah, it's nice that we're here, but it's $34 worth of risk. It takes us down to what did I say? 18, 17, right there. There's your break even, right? There's your Nadex break even point. And when it does that, when you move 33 down already, the difference in the binaries, right? The difference in the binary, what was I looking at? Was I looking at the daily? Oops, that's gold. Yeah, what was it? The 65.10. I'm sorry, 65.70. Yeah, by those being 40 cents apart, you've already jumped one bracket down, and you'd already have more profit in that one. So again, for you to get any profit, this one doubles or triples much, much quicker. Okay. So we'll see. That one comes out in just a matter of moments. Okay. I'm curious to see if Evans can move today. I think everybody wants Pal's job. Between Evans and Harper, they're just gabbing away. All right, so while we're waiting, let's go ahead and let's go do the drawing since we got a couple minutes to go here. Let's pull this in. I'll give you guys about another 30 seconds, and that should take us right up to the inventory report. The girl's being pretty good in the other room. Gotta say, pretty impressed with the girl. Right now, it looks like Will is in for 2. And remember, it is Wednesday, so it's actually not 25. It is a 50 pip chip win today because it is Wednesday. Although, I think, Will, you won the last one, right? Yeah, it's for 50 today. So we'll do this right at 7 minutes. And remember, this has been running the whole time, but when I don't have it up, it doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't click. I don't know why it doesn't. It used to, but who knows? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Close giveaway. All right. Winner of today's drawing is, and it's, what's funny? It says you can no longer enter the giveaway. So they've added some things to it, so it kind of goes across easier now. So a little bit better communication. Go Stream Elements. All right, here we go. Winner of today's drawing is, ooh, look at that. Debbie tried at the last moment to steal it from Will. But look at that. Will's like, oh my God, did I win two in a row? Did I win two in a row? Will's like, I can't believe this. All right, so everybody go buy lottery tickets today. Today is the magical day. I know, right? Will wins two. Nobody can believe it. Nobody can believe it. I'm not buying two tickets again for 2 years. I know. This was Will's one chance. I guess the Asses are not too far away. I know, right? The locusts, Ernest, the locusts are coming in. See, Ernest, that's why you your plate had the and Luke Ernest, in that picture, that was like the Israeli couscous, right? Because it's the big ones. Is that what it's called? Is it Israeli or it's something like that, right? It's a different kind of couscous, isn't it? Correct? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. After the pink wings post, I was like, "What is he talking about?" And then I was like, "Oh God, that looks good." I was like, "Oh, that's the big ones. We have those downstairs, actually." Melissa did one. Melissa loves coupons. I told you guys that before. She she gets like one of those like free. Ooh, wow, that's a big down draw. I don't think they expected that much of a down draw. Here we go with those forecasts, totally off. Yeah, that's a big one. I don't think that Yeah, there's your kind of spike with that one. Yeah, and like I said, the chop back and forth made this one hard. That was a big miss. So yeah, they were trying, they were pushing it, they were pushing it. So yeah, I'd look for this one. Yeah, much bigger than expected. And again, makes sense with everything we've seen. So not surprising. But again, nice little spike down real quick. James's guy was in the jug last night. I know, right? It's all about James's guy. No, I mean it makes sense, you know. So again, this is a very very hard report to pick right now, and the reason why is because again we don't know. Yeah, this number was not as good as expected, right? But it is still 842,000 jobs created. Plus, remember, this one previously, this number did not factor in the additional amount that they were wrong last time. And it's like, how many are, what are we expecting? Are we expecting there to be, is everybody driving? Are some people driving? What are the chances of it? Um, every time they lift COVID restrictions and people can travel, people are traveling. So, oh, here you go. Evan said it's, temporary rise of inflation to 3%. Won't be a problem. Won't be a problem. But here's what's interesting. They're saying, oh, it's 3%. But we've seen that the real inflation rate is up to, between 4 and 6.8 is what people are saying. So while temporary rise, what if it's not temporary? Does that become a problem, right? And what if it's not 3%? What if it's 4 or 6.8, right? Because that's what we've seen, right? Um, inconsistent with 2%. What? Yeah, whatever. Here you go. First one. When is it a problem, right? Just raise the interest rates if the market gets hot. Just raise it along, right? Yeah. If it's two, it's no big deal. But yeah, so we'll see. Um, so yeah, look at that. Oil should be moving around. All those people that are initially out. And again, that's the problem we had. That this was a level that was like, it froze only a little tiny bit. Its freeze was down here, which is not in a level. So, we'll see. All right, guys. So that's it. I mean, like I said, nothing really crazy. I think Evans. I wonder if this is Evans making a lot of comments now. I wonder if this is his. I mean, this is the online thing later. I wonder if this is the opening remarks now. If he's going early. Mm, or if Evans is going. What if this is his opening remarks and they're just off on the time? It may be. Yeah, because here's the Philly Fed. Yeah, so Evans is going early, so it's not at the end of the day. So it says the event will start soon. Um, yeah, I don't know if he's speaking again or not. If he's speaking again, this could be the end of the day thing. But I feel like all his headlines now are coming from this speech, so I feel like they've gotten it wrong. So seems like I'm burning like $400 in fuel a month right now. Yeah, I mean it's not surprising, is it? It's going up, and yeah, I mean it's not, it's one of those things. Look at that. Everybody was like, "Oh God, get long quick," and then it's like, yeah, everybody's like, "Yep, short, short, quick, 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 quick." Not that I think it'll make it all the way down. It would take a lot for this one. But again, there's your oil spike up and down. So, all right. With that said, guys, I got nothing else today, so I will catch you guys tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow morning. So tomorrow is supposed to be. I'm going to be in reserve. As you guys know, yesterday was supposed to be her first day, but we didn't have the medical stuff. So tomorrow is supposed to be her first day. I'm supposed to kind of be in the wings just in case. So I'm not going to do a chart school tomorrow. We'll see how it works out. Not necessarily worried about the morning; she should be fine, but more worried about what happens at noon. So, yeah. And then also Melissa is switching jobs. So Friday we definitely won't have one. I have to help her get all her stuff out of her current place. It's nice. Her normally in financial services, when you tell them you're leaving, they like lock everything down so you don't have access to client files. But they wanted Melissa to finish out the week because she starts her new position next week. So it worked out pretty well. Um, so I need to go help her kind of move all her stuff out on Friday. So I won't be out around. I'll do the Natix thing in the morning, and then I got to roll. But hopefully next week we'll be able to add those chart schools back again. All right, we'll see. Hopefully. Well, with that said, again, if you guys need anything, message me on Discord, and I'll catch you guys later. Oh, you didn't. Oh, yeah, I didn't do it yet. It's still up. No, I didn't do it yet. That's why I leave this up. I can do it right now if you really want, just to make sure you get your 50. Actually, it's your double, so I'll give you your 100 because you. Normally I don't do it, but I feel like you won't win again for another year, so I have to make you feel happy. And when I do 100, it automatically takes him from Ernest. You guys didn't see that? When I do 100, it's the program is set that it pulls him from him and goes right up. So that's how it works. I'm just playing. It doesn't actually do that, Ernest. He's going to be fuming now. But anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys soon. If you guys need anything, message me in Discord, and I'll catch you guys later. Take care.